Okay, so first thing we are going to do is we are going to download our images and sound folders. So there's a link below that you can just click on. It should start downloading. And then go ahead and do the same thing with the sound. Once they are downloaded, let's go ahead and unzip them to our game. So we'll extract sound first. Then we will extract image. Just right click and extract. Okay, so now that we've downloaded these and extracted them, let's go inside of like the IMG file. Let's make sure that we're all the way at the base, and let's drag this over into our game. Factor. And let's do the same thing with the sound folder. Let's drag it out of there. Now we should have all of our assets we're going to need for the game at this point. Let's open it up and look. Okay, we're good. Got sounds. Okay, awesome. So now let's go ahead and open up our main.py, and so we can clear off some of this clutter. IMG / we'll copy that, Control C, and let's put that in front of each of these. So we should have all these already in this IMG file, and if so, then we can delete them out of our main folder. Okay, we've got an issue. Okay, so in our assets, we've got an intro background instead of just a background. So we'll change the name of this to intro. Now let's try that out. Okay, start game. Looks like everything's working right. So we'll close out the game. Let's come on out here and let's go ahead and delete some of these assets out of our main folder here. So do safe delete, refactor, safe delete. We didn't ever use this one, but we might later on. We might actually extend out the tutorial from what I've done so far. So let's go ahead and move this to the sound, just in case. Refactor, refactor, safe delete, refactor, safe delete, refactor, and safe delete. Alright, so next let's go ahead and create our character select screen. So as you'll notice, we've got other options, but right now we're just starting off as the agent. So let's make our selection screen. So in order to do that, we're going to have to modify some of our code up here. So our character sprite sheet that our animation is pulling from, we actually want to make it where it pulls from whichever character we have selected. So in order to do that, let's create character dictionary. So we'll do self.chair dictionary equals, and then we will do sprite sheet ng character. For 2, we'll do sprite sheet ng boss 1. Oh, got my comma. Okay, 3 will be sprite sheet and ing boss 2. And finally, our 4th one, be sprite sheet img alien. So now we have 4 sprite sheets. But what we wanted to do is we want to change this to pull from this according to what we select. So let's go delete this out, do self.character dictionary, and then we want to select it as self.character selection. But we haven't created this yet, and even though we haven't selected it at this point, we still have to have a default character select. So let's go up here, let's go ahead and put it right here, self.character selection equals, and let's just set it to 3. We'll just select our boss character by default. It doesn't really matter if you put 1, 2, 3, or 4. This just helps you to not hang up on an error. And let's try it out just to make sure everything's working right. Running into an error on 29. Oh, I typed out fully character selection. Type character selection. Just char selection. Let's try that again. And you'll notice we are the little dog guy we call Barkers. And if we change it to 2, we're this guy. So it appears to be working pretty well. Let's try 4. And we got our alien dude. So everything appears to be working here, but now we need to create a character selection screen. So let's go down to our intro screen. And at this point, if we push play, it just turns our intro to false and shoots straight to the game. But if we're on the start at the beginning, we want it to go to our character select screen. So let's do if start resume equals start, then we'll do self dot character select, call that. But we haven't created this yet. So let's do define character select, and we'll pull in self and do char select equals true. Then we'll do title equals self dot font dot render. We'll put choose your character. Do true. We'll do white. Then we will rect title get rect. Make it so do x 100 y 100. We might have to change this, but for now we're going to leave it at this. Okay, now we need to do object dictionary equals, and we will create where each one of these squares, which is going to show the image of the character we're going to use. We're going to create a square for each one of those. So let's do boss and create a list 0, 0, alien 32, 0. Let's do Barkers 64, 0, and agent at 96 and 0. So now let's do boss pick equals Pygame dot transform dot scale or 2x. What this does is this takes our image that we're already using on the game and it's going to double its length and width. So we'll do self.character select sprite sheet, but we haven't created this yet. So we need to go back up here. Put it right here. Self.character select sprite sheet G / character select. Okay. Alright, so let's do get sprite object dictionary, do boss. That'll pull us first coordinates. Then we'll do object dictionary boss. That'll pull us y coordinates. Then we'll do tile size. We'll do boss, boss rect, boss bit dot get rect, x equals 150, y equals. And now we'll do alien pick equals Pygame dot transform dot scale self dot character select sprite sheet get sprite object dictionary alien 0 object dictionary do tile size tile size tile size alien get right do him at 300 equals 300 y equals 350. So now let's copy paste. I'm just going to try to make our code look nicer so we can just leave it this way. So do Parker's and there is an easier way to do it than just to type in each. So instead we do copy and paste again, and let's just highlight over the text that we just did. Control R, and you can replace that. Let's just replace Parker's with agent. Just 5 instances right here. So replace all. That'll save you some time. So now let's do boss button equals button 320 4 times tile size. Then tile size black, gray. Make it say boss. Then 15. So let's copy and paste these two. Alien Parker's agent. 270 420 570. Alien Parker's agent. And then we want an exit button too. Win width divided by 2 minus button divided by 2. We want it at 400. Button width, button height. Do red, black, right exit, and 32. Now we have to make all this functional and draw it. So let's do a while loop. Do character select for event Pygame dot event dot get do if event dot type equals Pygame dot quit equals false self dot running equals false. Now then let's do mouse position Pygame dot mouse dot get position mouse rest equals Pygame dot mouse dot get rest. If exit button dot is pressed, mouse position, mouse pressed, then self dot running equals false, Pygame dot quit, and we'll do sys dot exit. Then we'll do some elifs. Agent button dot is pressed, mouse position, mouse pressed, then character select equals false, self dot character selection equals 1, self dot character update. So we've not created this function yet. So let's go up here. Let's put it right here. Let's do define character update self, do self dot character dictionary equals, let's just copy it from up here. And we'll do self dot character sprite sheet equals self dot character dictionary self dot character selection, and then we'll do game dot new game dot timeline. And this should help us to keep the changes throughout our game, even when we change levels. So now, let's copy and paste. Let's change this to boss. Is pressed. Do 2. Barkers 3. And alien button push 4. Okay, so next we want to draw our background. So choose character background. Create another sprite sheet. Call it self dot choose character background equals sprite sheet img choose character background.png. Back down here, do self dot screen dot split self dot choose character background. We will start it drawing at 0, 0. Then we'll do self dot screen dot split. Do title rect, exit button, image, exit button dot rect, self dot screen dot split, boss button dot image, and boss button dot rect, self dot screen dot split, alien button dot image, alien button dot rect, screen dot split, Parker's button dot image, Parker's button dot rect, agent button dot image, agent button dot rect. Now that we got all that, now we get to do the pictures. So now we do screen dot lit, boss pick, boss rect, screen dot lit, alien, alien, screen dot lit, Barkers, pick, Barkers rect, self.screen.lit agent Pyg and agent rect. Do self.clock tick yes Pygame.display.update. So let's see if this works. And no, that's because I made a sprite sheet instead of an image up here. So this should have been Pygame.image.load. Now let's see if it works. Start game, it's working, but we've got some issues like with Barkers and with our alien dude. So we gotta figure out what's going on. Okay, so I can see one problem here. Put in coordinates correctly. Okay, so I did the agent button here, but I put alien here. So let's do agent button, and let's see how that works. Alright, now we have our character. If you want to move this over to the right, you can. Let's go here. Our configuration width is at 800. So the middle will be about 400. So let's set this at like 300 and see what it looks like. Way too far over. So let's try 200. That looks pretty good right there. So let's make sure all these work. It's boss. Have any problems? Alien. So that's working good. Barkers. That's working good. And last but not least, agent. Looks like it's working good. So looks like we've got everything working the way we wanted it to. That'll end this part of the tutorial. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment if you got anything to throw in. Other than that, I'll see you on the next part of the tutorial.